What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. Today's video is finally the time we get to start talking about each of the new characters arriving for the 500 or the 55 million download Sugo Fest, going to be Luffy and Law and V2 Big Mom's debut. This is the Sugo Fest that many people have been waiting for, because Luffy and Law are legitimately the next best legend in the game. They are 110% the best legend in the game upon their release. They are phenomenal. They are insanely broken. But this is going to be a long video, so I want to jump straight into it. So before we actually get into talking about the brand new batch, I want to talk about the brand new limited time characters that are coming in this Sugo Fest. There's a new Ace and a new Perona. Now I want to go through this very quickly because we have so many characters to go through. So this is a special Ace that you get guaranteed after the second multi of part 2 only. So this Ace is a quick shooter free spirit, 2.5 attack to free spirit and recovery beneficial. Again, nothing too crazy. His special ability, 14 turn cooldown, will bind himself for 5 turns, but reduces crew's special charge time by 2 turns, so 2 turns reduction of cooldown, and a 3 times chain lock for 2 turns. Now, it's annoying because it's a 5-turn bind, so you definitely have to bring a character that can get rid of that bind. Because the thing about it is if you are trying to use it on a mini-boss and then carry it through multiple rooms, even with preemptives, like, that's not going to get rid of his bind at all. So it's kind of annoying the way that he is structured, but either way, it's a 3 times chain lock with 2 turns of cooldown reduction, which is pretty good. 14 turn cooldown is a little high in my opinion though, and he reduces special reverse on himself, which again is very nice to have. So talking about the other character, which is on part 3, is going to be the new Perona character. So if we can find her, here she is. Now Perona is a dex shooter driven captain ability of boosting attack and recovery by 1.75, and special ability 14 turns, heals the crew by 50% of their max HP and reduces damage taken by 70% for 3 turns. This Perona isn't really that amazing, honestly. She's really not that exciting, but she does reduce special, was it special silence? Special bind, yeah, special binds or special silence by 2 turns on herself. That's fine, but like, this Perona isn't that exciting. The Ace is way better than this Perona overall. But the other thing that we got to talk about is the brand new raid boss, Usopp and Chopper. So here is the showdown of Usopp and Chopper. So we can actually go ahead and have a look at all of the effects of Usopp and Chopper. So for Usopp, who is the first character out, he is a quick shooter character, captain ability of saying that if every single type is on the crew, boost crew's HP by 1.25, 2.75 attack, and recovery in tandem are beneficial. So a pretty decent captain ability actually. As for Chopper, he is a quick striker powerhouse, and again, if everyone is on the crew with different typing, 1.25 times HP and 2.75 times attack, and will also boost the chance of landing on a type slot. I don't know about that one. It's weird because you'd probably want to get more recovery in tandem slots because Usopp makes them beneficial. Pretty interesting. I don't know why they opted to do that for Chopper with his captain ability. But when you switch between each of them, it will heal 3% of your crew's max HP and give you a 0.3 chain boost for 1 turn. That's a really good switch effect, just to get continuous healing and a chain boost. This character is pretty awesome, honestly, and especially if you're running double of this character to get 3% healing, then 3% healing every single turn, on top of auto healing as well. This character is really good, actually. And then talking about their special ability. So the special ability will deal 80 times his attack and quick damage to 1 enemy, and becomes Usopp and Chopper for 2 turns, of course. And it says that if there is a delayed enemy on the enemy side of the field, you heal 20% of your crew's max HP. And it will greatly boost your crew's attack and slot effects for 2 turns. Now, greatly is a 1.75, so it's a 1.75 rainbow attack and orb boost for 2 turns. But then it says, delays all enemies by 1 turn, and boost your crew's attack and slot effects by 1 turn otherwise. So if there is a delayed enemy, it's a 1.75 attack and orb boost for 2 turns. If they're not delayed, then it's a 1 turn delay to the enemy and a 1.5 times attack and orb boost, but only for 1 turn. So ideally, you definitely want to delay the enemy prior to activating his special ability. Now, the thing that I noticed straight away is that all of the classes, no matter which character that you're on, all work with V1 Katakuri, and V1 Katakuri is the master of delaying, of course. So this character works exceptionally well with V1 Katakuri, who is getting his 6+ on Japan, so it'd be awesome if we got that on global, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, when you combine into this dual unit, their captain ability is going to be a 1.25 health and a 3.25 rainbow attack boost if one of every colors on the team. Boost the chance of getting a type slot, and recovery in tandem are beneficial. So overall, this character is actually really good. I'm actually pretty impressed with this character, as he can work with a lot of characters that we have currently, and might honestly see play in certain pieces of content. So let's go ahead and start talking about each of the rare recruits first. The first one is Bon Clay and Ivankov. So let's talk about each of their individual forms first. So here we have Bon Clay, oh no, this is Ivankov first. Ivankov is a Psi Free Spirit fighter, and the captain ability is 2 times attack to Free Spirit, and also will heal 2 times the recovery at the end of each turn. Nothing really too good there. Moving on to Bon Clay, boost attack of Free Spirit by 2.25, and boost their attack by a further 1.2 after 4 perfects. I think it equals around maybe between 2.5 and 3 times. Nothing really too good there either. When they are fully combined, they will boost Free Spirit characters' attack by 2.75 and heal the crew by 3 times at the end of each turn, and also will boost Free Spirit characters' attack by a further 1.25 after 4 perfect strikes. Again, nothing really too crazy. For their special ability though, 15 turn max cooldown, completely removes all poison, recovery down, removes SFX, and also will resist bind and despair by 5 turns. So to resist 5 different debuffs is phenomenal, as well as healing 13 times this character's recovery for 5 turns, and also fuses into Ivankov and Bon Clay for 2 turns. This character is freaking awesome. The amount of utility that you get from this character is amazing, and the fact that they are this character, you could definitely use them on training forests or just really hard content, like really difficult GARP challenges or 0 staminas. To have that awesome utility on top of the healing as well, this character is really, really nice to have. Now, as for their switch effect, because remember, all of them are regular rare recruits in this batch, they all have switch effects, which is awesome. So for Ivankov and Bon Clay, they will reduce your crew's paralysis duration by 1 turn and reduce damage taken by 20%. That's so good for a regular rare recruit, right? Like, this character is just a top tier rare recruit character. So if you are pulling and you get this character, be very, very happy, because they're going to be used quite often, that's for sure. So moving on to the next character, the next one is going to be Smoker and Toshiki. So Smoker and Toshiki are again a pretty interesting unit. So for Smoker, he is a quick striker driven, and his captain ability is boosting quick characters by 2.5, and all other characters will only get 2 times attack, and also will give you a rainbow 1.2 times health boost. So pretty interesting captain ability. As for Toshiki, Toshiki is a Psi / Cerebral, and her captain ability is a 2.5 attack to Psi, and 2 times attack to everybody else, and again a 1.2 times rainbow HP boost. So pretty good overall, just for a regular rare recruit. And then when they fully combine, they become a quick and Psi 3.25 times captain, and also all other characters just will get a regular 2.5 times, and also will boost your crew's health by 1.2. Not the worst, but far from the best, I will admit. As for their switching effect, they will go ahead and change recovery, empty, G, and bomb slots randomly, and also heals your crew by 1,000. To get an extra 1,000 recovery per turn is pretty nice, actually. The really cool thing about this is that this specific switch effect works really well with the upcoming treasure map character, which is Ben Beckman and Shanks. This is really nice for that. And the really cool thing about switch effects is that they don't actually activate enemy interrupts. So having a special ability or a switch effect like this will be useful in very niche circumstances. But as for their special ability, 14 turn max cooldown, deals 100,000 fixed damage to all enemies, and also changes your crew's block and type slots into matching, locks your slots for 1 turn as well, and they'll combine for 2 turns. Again, it's a special ability that's kind of nice to have, but it's not a special ability that you're going to be opting to bring every single, piece of content. The 100,000 fixed damage AoE is pretty nice, and the fact that they can get rid of block orbs is pretty nice as well. Their orb manipulation is very similar to V1 Katakuri, as well as just giving you that fixed damage. I think the fixed damage is probably the most important component here, but the orb manipulation might be key for very, very niche circumstances as well. The next character is going to be Rob Lucci and Kaku. So Kaku and Lucci, pretty interesting selection for a dual unit, if I say so myself. We've got Lucci, who is a strength powerhouse fighter, and he will boost powerhouse characters' attack by about 2.75 times when you have a matching slot, and 2.25 otherwise, and will halve your crew's recovery. Again, nothing nothing too crazy. These rare recruits, you shouldn't be focusing on their captain abilities that much. It's mainly about their special abilities and their switch effects here. But Kaku is a dex powerhouse slasher, and his captain ability is a 2.25 times powerhouse attack booster, and also will boost the amount of damage from your specials by 1.25 times. Remember, this only counts for color damage, so it's very similar to the treasure map Big Mom captain ability, where she'll amplify the effects of color damage. Same thing here, but it's Kaku's effect as a captain. Now, as for their dual captain, they're going to be a 3 times powerhouse attack boost when you have a matching slot, 2.5 otherwise, and will boost the type special damage by 1.5 times. Nothing really too amazing either. As for their switching effect, every time you switch between Kaku and Lucci, they will make powerhouse, fighter, and slasher characters tandem slots have matching slot effects for 1 turn, and will also boost the chain multiplier by 0.3 for 1 turn. This character actually fits pretty well on a Sanji and Judge team, because the fact that you can make tandem slots beneficial all the time is kind of interesting. So that's not too bad, to be honest. That's pretty interesting for the powerhouse squads. But then again, that switch effect just for fighter and slasher teams as well is a pretty nice find as well. As for their special, it's a 10-turn cooldown, deals 50 times his attack and type damage to all enemies, which is good. Becomes Lucci and Kaku for 2 turns, and if your captain is a powerhouse, a fighter, or a slasher character, will give you 2 times attack to powerhouse, fighter, and slashes for 1 turn. Yeah, this guy's pretty good. This guy is actually pretty nice. Just to give you that random 2 times attack to 3 separate classes. Pretty awesome. Completely cancels remove SFX if the captain's a powerhouse, fighter, or a slasher. Like, not really much else about this character, but he's just really nice for those 3 classes in particular. Specifically for powerhouse, as both Lucci and Kaku are both that class. But, you know, if you need to run, you know, one of these in their other classes, whether it's just fighter or just slasher, you do have to take that in consideration, that when you switch, you might lose some damage output there. So, either way, pretty interesting special ability overall. And the last rare recruit of this batch is going to be Mr. Zero and Miss All Sunday, otherwise known as Robin and Croc. But this guy, so we've got Croc, who is a Dex Cerebral Slasher, and his captain ability is 2.5 attack to Cerebral, and Dex Orbs are matching for them as well. As for Robin, she is an Int Cerebral Slasher as well. Are they both slashers? They're both slashers, but then they become Striker Cerebral. I feel like Crocodile should be a Striker? That's a little bit weird. Either way, Robin, she's a 2.25 attack to Cerebral and a 15% damage reducer. Again, nothing too crazy there. As for their dual captain, boost Cerebral attack by 3 times, you get 20% damage reduction, and Dex Orbs are beneficial to Cerebral. Not too bad, actually. As for their switching effect, boost the chances of landing on character's own type slot for 1 turn. So basically just will give you an increased chance of matching orbs for 1 turn. Nothing too crazy for their switch effect. Kind of underwhelming, to be honest. And you can see with this character, they have both of their limit break potential abilities are damage reducing effects. So nothing amazing here. I'm really disappointed in that particularly. But as for their special ability, 13 turn cooldown, reduces damage taken by 80% for 1 turn, and boosts the type effects of normal attacks, color affinity, by 1.75 times for 1 turn. It's a universal 1.75 color affinity, and also will fuse for 2 turns. So, you know, Rainbow 1.75 color affinity with an 80% damage reduction. Okay, it's okay. It's just okay. It's just okay. Nothing crazy. But now let's start talking about the Sugo Fest exclusive characters. First of all, we have Big Mom, Zeus, and Prometheus. So, this was kind of an odd one, to be honest, because it's actually 3 characters in one, but Big Mom and Zeus, and it's Big Mom and Prometheus, and you just switch between Zeus and Prometheus, essentially. That's the way that it actually works. But here we go. This is for the solo effect of, first of all, being Zeus and Big Mom. I believe Zeus is the first character out when you have this character. So, she states that if every single type is on the crew, you increase your damage taken by 1.75, which is a bad thing. Obviously, you don't want extra damage taken, but will give you 2 times HP and a 3.25 times attack boost, and heals the crew by a number of enemies defeated by normal attacks, multiplied by the crew's total recovery at the end of each turn. So, to quickly sum it up, it is a, you have to have one of every color on your team, which is kind of annoying. It can be quite annoying with team building. But the really cool thing about Big Mom is that both of her switching is int characters. So you just have to bring Strength, Dex, Quick, and Psi. But On top of this as well, you have a healing mechanic. So the way that it works is as it said, every time you KO an enemy, you heal 1 times your recovery back. So if you kill 6 enemies, you heal 6 times your recovery back. So even though you have 1.75 times increased damage, you can heal back that very, very quickly with a Big Mom team. And that 2 times HP is no joke. Like, you have like close to 100,000, or a lot of the time you'll get to pretty much 100,000 HP. So that's really, really nice to have. So that's really awesome for Zeus and Big Mom. Moving over to Prometheus and Big Mom, you'll actually notice that it's actually the exact same captain ability. There's no changes between the 2 switching of Zeus and Prometheus. It's the exact same captain effect, which is actually kind of nice. The only thing that you're changing or you're getting from the switching is their switching effect. Now, when you switch between Big Mom and Zeus and Prometheus, you actually get this effect where it says completely removes character's paralysis, changes her own slot into matching, and will boost her own attack and orbs by 1.5 times for 1 turn. That's a pretty good effect, allowing Big Mom to just do a crap load amount of damage to an enemy just with a switch, which is pretty nice to have, honestly. So that actually will see play. It's really good for her as a captain. She just does crazy amounts of damage. Remember though that she is only a 3.25 times attack captain. In my opinion, that should have been buffed to a 3.5. 3.25 for having those conditions is a little underwhelming in my personal opinion. But as for her special ability, Big Mom actually has a new mechanic for her special ability. So it maxes out at a 10-turn cooldown and will boost your crew's base attack for 1 turn based on the crew's max HP when you launch the special. So the way that it works is if you have 100,000 HP and you activate her special, all of your characters will get a 1,000 base stat increase. So in a hypothetical situation, you can see Big Mom here has 1832 attack. Her attack will actually go up to 2832. Now, adding base attack doesn't seem that exciting, but it actually makes an absurd difference when you're actually doing normal attacks. Because you got to remember all of the captain ability, the ship ability, multiplier stack on top of that. So the amount of extra damage that you get from it is actually very, very crazy. Now, we haven't talked about it yet, but what happens when you combine into the dual form with Zeus and Prometheus? So again, it's pretty much the same captain effect, but it will buff your attack from 3.25 up to a 4 times attack. Again, I feel like this should have been buffed to at least 4.25 up to maybe 4.5 attack, considering she has a pretty strict condition of having 1 of every color on the crew. But overall, V2 Big Mom is a very, very useful character to have, because we didn't even talk about this either, is that if your health is above 50% when you launch her special, you lock the chain multiplier at 3.5 times for 1 turn. So Big Mom is the highest chain locker in the game as of right now, and she'll obviously will fuse for 3 turns as well. So you get base stat increase and a 3.5 times chain lock, as well as that combination for 3 turns. So honestly, Big Mom is really good, but I feel like she is definitely underwhelming compared to some of the more recent characters that we've had. Like, in my personal opinion, I feel like it'd still be better to have Sanji and Judge over a character like V2 Big Mom. I feel like having Bato and Cavendish is a little better than having V2 Big Mom. Though, at the end of the day, Big Mom is still a 3.5 times chain locker, and she has a mechanic that doesn't stack with anything else. So you're getting extra damage for free with Big Mom. So just because of that alone, I feel like Big Mom will see play for sure. She's really nice to have, and the fact that you can run a rainbow team with her is very, very nice. So honestly, Big Mom's good, but she's definitely the consolation prize for this Sugo Fest. And the main prize is this guy right here, Luffy and Law, Miracle Making Generation. So let's start talking about this guy right here, Luffy and Law. This is the character that everyone is looking for in this Sugo Fest. So Luffy and Law. So starting off with Luffy is a Dex Fighter Free Spirit. His captain ability will boost the crew's attack by 3.5 and a 1.25 times health boost. That's it. Rainbow 3.5. For free, basically. Like, that's crazy, dude. I remember when this first came out on JP, everyone was losing their minds because they didn't think a character like this would ever be created. Like, a 3.5 rainbow, just with not even the dual form yet, is kind of crazy. So moving on to Law. Law is a quick slasher cerebral, and his captain effect is a little more tame. It's a rainbow 3x boost. You get a 1.25 health boost and heal the crew by 0.5 his recovery for every perfect that you hit. So in my personal opinion, for this character, I would probably opt to give attack and recovery just because of the healing mechanics that Law provides when you have him out as the captain. Now, when you switch between Luffy and Law, the switch effect that you get is very, very powerful. So it completely removes the character's slot bind, very good. Changes his own slot into matching, that gets rid of block orbs as well. And also will double his own attack for 1 turn and allows his attacks to bypass defensive effects for 1 turn. Like, that's wild, dude. You get a guaranteed matching orb and 2 times attack to himself, and you go through all barriers. You go through threshold, percent damage reduction, damage nullification. He goes through all of it. And it's really cool because you can use V2 Big Mom on the team, get a 3.5 times chain lock, and this guy's going to be doing crazy damage. So yeah, this character is very, very good. That switch effect is very, very crazy. And the fact that you can just go through barriers is just the craziest stuff ever, dude. Like, that switch effect is so powerful. Like, that switch effect in and of itself will be able to KO some specific bosses just by itself, which is the craziest thing to think about, right? But what happens when you activate their special ability to become Luffy and Law? So their special ability is very unique for a dual character because there are 2 separate abilities. Because when Luffy activates the special, it will go ahead and deal 400 times his attack to 1 enemy, and also will make Dex and Quick beneficial to your crew for 1 turn, and a 2.5 times Rainbow Orb boost for 1 turn. What? A 2.5 Rainbow Orb boost, as well as providing just a little bit of matching orbs. You know, making Dex and Quick beneficial, I feel like that's a little, like, that's whatever, honestly. Like, Dex and Quick is fine, but the orb boost is what you're looking for, right? But when Law activates the special, he does 75 times his attack, AoE, through barriers. So that's also really nice to have as well. And then he does the same thing as Luffy with Dex and Quick matching and 2.5 times orb boost. So the main difference here is that Luffy does large single target damage to 1 enemy, and Law does AoE damage. It's a little bit weaker, but it's AoE damage that goes through barriers. So depending on which character you have out, you will get a differing effect. So there we go. But what happens when you combine them? What is their OP captain ability, right? So when you have them fully combined, Rainbow 4.5 times attack boost, 1.25 times health boost, and heal 1 times this character's recovery at the end of every turn. For every perfect that you hit, of course. So you can heal up to over 3,000 with his healing mechanic. If you have recovery cotton candies, it's even more. If you have sailor effects that boost stats, it's even more. Yeah, Luffy and Law is easily the best legend in the game. No doubt in my mind. He is just phenomenal. He has really good critical hit. Like, he has critical hit as well, which is 10% on the last strike. It's not even a chance. It's 100% guaranteed to happen. If the character lands a perfect, you're guaranteed to deal 10% extra damage, which goes on even with his switch effect, boosting his own attack. If he's the last to attack, he's going to be doing crazy amounts of damage. You also have recovery bind resistance by 7 turns, and pinch healing as well, so you get another healing mechanic. You heal if you're below 30% with him as well, dude. Like, this character is bonkers, man. I'm really excited for this Sugo Fest. Good luck to everyone out there in this Sugo Fest, and hopefully you can get some cool characters. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys did, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.